Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Now, the second game of the Unity Cup, it was played today. Nigeria beat Ghana by 2-1. What that means is Jamaica will be going up against Nigeria on the weekend. Now, after Jamaica's game against Trinidad and Tobago, the fans were waxing lyrical about certain players, namely Casey Palmer and Ronaldo Cephas. Now, I'm curious to see what these players have in store for us come the weekend. I say that because in the grand context of things, the fans were basically getting carried away. And I say this with no ill intent or disrespect towards the Jamaican players. However, it must be considered that the Trinidadian team that Jamaica went up against is currently ranked 37 places below Jamaica. Yes, they're ranked 100 on the FIFA ranking, while Jamaica is ranked 63. Having said that, one would expect that Jamaica, going up against Trinidad and Tobago, would come away victorious. Jamaica is farther along in their transition than Trinidad and Tobago. They recently got a new coach in the form of Dwight York. They've been doing their thing. We saw they had a mini tour where they came to Jamaica and they played the local players. That didn't end too well for Trinidad and Tobago either. But back to the game at hand. Casey Palmer, I'm curious to hear from the viewers and the subscribers, when was the last time we saw Casey Palmer looking this brilliant? In the game against Trinidad and Tobago, he looked like prime Zinedine Zidane, and that's me putting it mildly. The likes of Cephas, folks were saying no defender on earth right now can basically defend Ronaldo Cephas. I beg your pardon. But again, we have to bear in mind the opposition that Jamaica was up against. I don't want to sound disrespectful towards the Trinidadian team, but the reality is the Jamaican team is farther along in their transition than Trinidad and Tobago. Now, fast forward to Saturday, we're expecting to see Jamaica at their very best going up against Nigeria, because only then will they come away victorious. Nigeria, the last time Nigeria and Jamaica played, I think it was about 2009 thereabout. That game ended in a draw. Jamaica hasn't beaten Nigeria for well over 2 decades in football. So I think the game on the weekend will be a spectacle for the Jamaican fans who are in London, who will be going out to support the boys. I expect you to show out in your numbers. But for the fans who are getting carried away, please calm down. I wanted to get back down to earth, because Nigeria, I think, is a more competent opponent for us to form opinions of the Jamaican players. We saw some of the players looking brilliant, but it's against Trinidad and Tobago. And let me use an analogy. A player who's playing in the Jamaican Premier League, he will always look like he's a World Cup winner when he's going to play Corner League or something of the sort. Alright, so I think Jamaica against Nigeria, it's a better test of the quality of the Jamaican players, considering the quality that the Nigerian team possesses. Trinidadian team, not quite there as yet, but hopefully in the next couple of years they will. Jamaica's arch rivals, when it comes down to football in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, we can safely say they're not as good as Jamaica in this current moment. And as such, Jamaica against Nigeria on the weekend, it will be a blockbuster matchup. I know the Nigerian fans will come out. I know the Jamaican fans will come out as well. And for those supporters who are getting super excited, this is the game that you should be doing videos about. This is the game that you should be looking at players and saying, wow, that player has something special, or that player is brilliant. So pay attention to the game on the weekend, because that is where I expect Jamaica's quote-unquote top players to show themselves. Until next time.